Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the North American Challenger League. I'm Rapid, he's EGAD, and together we're taking you into game number 4 of the night as vVv take on the legends that have become Team 8, or Team 8 rather, that has become a legend. We're hopping in picks and bans. You can already see a few of those champions being taken away. It's Vi, Pantheon, really banding out the jungle pressure there from Get Snuggled. But with Karthus and Yasuo banned out, you really see Slushy really starting to be the big target focus there. But to be honest, for Team 8, it's really been that duo lane. Maple Street really working things out with Dodo. Both of them individually having some huge plays. Maple had a big play from yesterday I think a few people saw out there. It's really looking good for Team 8, taking on vVv, who may have a little bit more to prove.
All right, so Vi, Pantheon, Lulu, going to be the first 3 bans for Team 8, while Kassadin, Yasuo, and what we're going to look for here, possibly... I don't know. Everybody has their significant champions that have been effective. You know, Nidalee for California Trolls is another key one that Renekton can't seem to beat for some reason and just gets pooped all over on. It's going to be Vladimir as the last ban away from California Trolls.
Wow.
So that's very interesting to see, and that frees open a lot of things that they could go for. Dodo not really playing Thresh all that much. He doesn't really care because he can play against him with Annie and Leona. California Trolls is just going to lock up the Nidalee for the top lane.
And, you know, out of the 3 champions that California Trolls has been kind of infamous for, the Malphite, Nidalee, or Vladimir, gets one of them banned, and you can build Malphite somewhat more versatile. But Nidalee also having a really big effect from California Trolls, proving yesterday that you can play AD Nidalee and crush Renektons, or you can play AP Nidalee and still do that. I don't know how that happens. Man, California Trolls has got it going on up there, so expect to see no Renektons from Chris. But Chris is a little bit of an innovator in his own right. One of the only top lane Jace players left out there. He's been playing Jace or Riot for a long time, and it'll be interesting to see if he brings that again today. With a lock-in on Elise, could see that top lane as well, but probably with as much strength as he's shown in the jungle. We'll see her there.
All right, so it's going to be a Lucian for Tails, and Elise for Get Snuggled in that jungle role. Could see Slushy go for the mid Lee Sin or something crazy like that. They're just trolling us, though. It's going to be Guest Save Elise in the jungle, and possibly going to be that Sivir. Oh, there it goes. He gets locked in, and so Sivir from Maple Street.
Now, Maple's going to be playing Sivir here. But with Vi and Pantheon both banned out, Vi, Pantheon, and Lulu, those are 3 of sort of the linchpins to the Sivir strat, where you run a lot of move speed, and then you also put some really hard, long engaged junglers in that role. It's a Lee Sin here, and while Lee Sin, I guess, can get out very far ahead of the team, is really more to kick people back into the rest of the team rather than to have that extra Sivir move speed to catch up to him. So we'll see where the Sivir fits into this Team 8 team comp, where vVv looking for their last couple of picks here that are really going to define at least one of their solo lanes. They're saving that last pick for top lane. See what Chris can come out with against California Trolls Nidalee. And keep in mind that could be mid Nidalee as well.
Yeah. And it's going to be possibly LeBlanc Thresh. You know, Gonti has been playing a lot of Thresh. Does a really good job on it. Knows how to play that champion. And Pekin Wolf, no slouch when it comes to his mid lanes. Plays the Gragas, plays LeBlanc, and plays a lot of Nidalee himself. So looking for a possible counter out to that one will be taking LeBlanc, and they'll swap it over to Leona. So could see Dodo 8 go for Annie, Zyra. There's a bunch he could go for. Alistar's in the big one, and it gets locked in. So headbutt pulverized into turret, and you have a rough time.
Yeah, exactly. And Alistar is a counter to Leona. You don't really expect that because while we've seen more Alistar being played, it's still not common by any means. And with looking for that mid lane pick, keep in mind this could also be top lane. May not have just been able to see California Trolls top lane Gragas yet. So no,
you never know.
Nothing guaranteed here. And with a Renekton being hovered over, this could be that sort of mind game swap that you don't see from any other team because nobody else plays Nidalee top.
Yeah, but you know, they still haven't saved their top for Chris too. That to be picked up. So
this is really cool to see.
I feel like it's going to be top Nidalee either way. He could go AP or Bruiser depending on the matchup. Doesn't matter.
I think it's Gragas. I'm betting on the Gragas lock-in. It would be a good pick here, especially versus LeBlanc, because you can always just really screw up those distortions by throwing off a nice explosive cast. And I don't know. It's locked in. So what's this big top lane pick for Chris? He's got Jace open. Renekton's there, but he just picked Renekton into the Renekton Destroyer. California Trolls will be playing a top lane Nidalee, whether it's Bruiser or AP. That is a matchup that California Trolls knows all too well.
I kind of question that, but we'll see how he plays it. You know, every Renekton player is different. They could play it a different style, could go for more all-in, could go for more defensive. We'll see. Doesn't matter. the poke from Italy is always there. It's always huge. And with a possible jungle, they're trolling us. That's going to be Lee Sin jungle. There's no way, yeah. They're trolling us. I was like, wait a minute, that's not jungle Gragas. They'll have enough AP in Gragas to secure that it could be Bruiser in Italy. I don't think she's going to go for the poke heavy because they'd be lacking a tank and a solid damage
And
front
they do
line.
have magic damage here from their mid laner. Previously, it was actually Slushy that ran a Riven mid, so they needed magic damage from top lane. But now, free to do that top lane Bruiser in Italy build. We'll see if California Trolls waits for his Triforce first before heading back to base, as he's done a couple of times already. So it's going to be an awesome game to watch. Top lane, mid lane as well. Slushy's been having some good games too. And of course, the bottom lane looking like all-stars themselves. Maple Street prone to some outplays. We'll see if we can get those down. But vVv, they're looking for some victories of their own. If you guys believe vV, then stick around. We'll be right back with our fourth game of the night. It's Team 8 take on Vision, Valor, and Victory. Before we head out, we're going to throw it over to a quick commercial break and shout out our sponsors. You can check them right down below the stream. You can check out LOL Class. By clicking on the link, you can sign up for a very affordable class with some of your favorite LCS pros playing some of their trademark champions. It's very affordable, very accessible, so head over to lolclass.com to check them out. You can also see Phoenix down there. You click on the little Phoenix logo. I like to call it the Bird Jesus because I'm a follower of the Helix Fossil. So when you click on that, you can head over to phoenixcollection.com and check out any of their impeccably crafted gaming peripherals. They got mice, keyboards, headsets, and mouse pads. If you want to check out all the cool stuff they have to offer, head over to phoenixcollection.com.
And last but not least, $13, 37 cents a month. You get yourself a crate delivered to your door of the latest gamer, geek, swag, apparel, and goodies that will bring a smile to your face. And they also have a nice little t-shirt they always include. This month's theme is going to be Attack on Titanfall, a little bit of Attack on Titan with some Titanfall mixed in. So don't forget to check them out and click the link below to get yourself a crate. So with that, we're going to go to the break, and when we come back, we'll have the fourth game for tonight.
Road's too long, I can't make it on my own steam. But it won't be long, once in a while we're allowed to dream that we're gonna make it through the night. We're gonna journey to the light. We're gonna make it through the night. Whoa, we're gonna make it through the dark. We're gonna find out who we are. We're gonna make it through the dark. No one can tell us who we are. We're that only love can ignite. And I'm fine with this. I wouldn't have it any other way. 'Cause we were made for this. You and me, we're gonna fly away. But we're gonna make it through the night. We're gonna journey to the light. We're gonna make it through the night. Whoa, we're gonna make it through the dark. We're gonna find out who we are. We're gonna make it through the dark. No one can tell us who we are. We're that only love can ignite. The sun will rise. The sun will rise. And the sun will rise. The sun will rise. We're gonna make it through the night. We're gonna journey to the light. We're gonna make it through the night. Whoa, we're gonna make
tick, I crash into you. We both feel the hit, we both feel the way that our chemicals mix, and I wish that
Just keep my eyes shut. Baby, this time you'll be enough.
so I need the dark. Without you here, I would never see the stars. I'm headed for you. Put on the gas. I'm coming straight at you, no forget.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Season 2 of the North American Challenger League. I am Rapid. I'm here with EGAD and all of you fine people as well. So thanks for tuning in. It's good to have you. Team 8 in the blue taking on vVv in the red. And in case you guys are colorblind, that's left and right respectively. Team 8 also coming in with a pretty crazy set of wins and an equally impressive resume. After taking out the upper echelon of North American Challenger League talent, they face off against vVv, who were sort of VV victorious for a while, coming in with Chris coming back to the team. 4-0 win streak kind of got stopped a little bit, so we'll have to see if they can bring it back and take down one of the most up-and-coming teams in the league.
All right, and as we get on to the Rift, you know, just a 5-point spread. It's nothing crazy. Everything's just going to be nice and passive for now. Spiderling comes out the scout, but he'll be pretty safe, and it'll be pretty much a blue-red start. Oh, traps coming in from California Trolls. He likes to start those. Chris is going to eat those, but take a lot of damage as it does shred the MR and armor that you do have with those traps. So he'll be revealed for a little bit. I'm pretty sure traps are going to still come on through. Guess 8 looking for Sonic Wave catch, but Trolls will drop a trap over the brush, as you can place those very, very far away from you. The range on traps is pretty good.
Now, this is a little bit strange. You see a Duran's ring start from California Trolls, Nidalee, and over the wall. Chris already in a little bit of
CC
trouble.
though, sadly. They can't chase it down.
Got that Nidalee CC.
Yeah, let me.
Oh, wait. Never mind. Just kidding. And no CC, of course, in level 1 Lee Sin. Still kind of chasing Chris back to base. I don't know why he's up there. Just go back already. But we've already got some engaged there as Peck and Wolf and Sluciat. I'm not. There's no CC there. You're just like, kind of like posturing there. Minions coming back in the lane. Chris is already forced to use that potion very, very early. And Chris is mid lane. Is there a top half of the map that you get?
I guess he's swapping it up. He's going to put the Nidalee against LeBlanc. They scouted it out. Gragas versus Renekton is really annoying for Gragas, because Renekton can just keep on going through passive sustain. Peking Wolf going to go in with a distortion, though. Going to trade out these autos and lose out.
Melee range versus
Yeah, Ignite gets dropped out. Guess 8 has the red buff on himself, too. Could look for initiation on that one. But they will force out his flash, and that'll be pretty good, while a nice knockup comes in onto Gaunty. And Pack Zipper actually coming in here from Maple Street, looking for those really cool blades to bounce out. But now with Flash down up top, Peking Wolf going to have a much harder time.
And this is really, really cool to watch a lane swap against the Nidalee. Now, if this were Bruiser Nidalee, I don't think LeBlanc could really stay in lane. Some Bruiser Nidalees come to lane with like 80, 90 AD if they're going that really hard AD build. Some of them build that hybrid penetration, and it does look like more of maybe an Inox style Nidalee, where you build Bruiser, but then you start with AP. So we'll see if he decides to go for that Athene's Unholy Grail build, like you see most mid lane Nidalees go for, or maybe mix it up with some Doran's Blades.
I feel like he could have expected this, because with the Doran's Ring, he'll be able to heal for a lot more. He'll be able to spam out abilities.
Just look at that. It's like, go in the brush, come out of the brush, auto attack, back in the brush.
Unless you ward, that's really annoying. There's like nothing you can really do to combat that, especially with only a trinket ward. And it looks like he's just going to keep on applying this pressure, but we're going to see distortion and, let Sigil get popped out there, and we'll probably have a bit of burst damage. Ignite goes down in the mid lane. Chris going to get ganked out here by Guess 8. Level 3, no slice and dice. He's flashing away. Sonic Wave. Oh,
he
nice
missed
dash.
It, but it doesn't
Needs one
matter.
more. Oh, and first blood over to Guess 8 with the auto attack, taking 2 turret shots, but either way, first blood going to Guess 8, requiring 2 flashes. If he wouldn't have missed that Q, then it wouldn't have.
It wouldn't have mattered. Oh, we got the burst damage. Chain will connect
Oh,
on
no.
to California Trolls, and that's about all she wrote now.
Moon comes in. He's not going to waste the flash there, yeah. So just gives himself up, and that was a really good job. Well down bot. Initiation comes through. Headbutt to knock away Tails. Pulverize goes into Gaunty, and that's pretty much going to be that.
Yeah, nice play there by Dodo. Dodo really owned that team, or not team fight, but that engagement. It's like a team fight because there are 4 people there, but it's just one lane. Dodo really keeping Maple Street safe and sound in that lane, and to be honest, we've seen this Lucian versus Sivir matchup a few times. Most of the time, it's LMQ versus Team 8, where LMQ have actually busted out Sivir twice, but really haven't had that much success on the champion, especially versus Lucians. Not a super great matchup there, but Maple Street switching it up, and he's the one going for a Sivir this time around. We'll see if he still has those moves he had yesterday on Lucian. That was it's a pretty impressive performance. It's a hard act to follow.
All right. Back to being passive now after all that aggression. Every lane had something go down, so that was pretty cool to see. The camera flying around the map. And back to the farming. We see a little bit of a lead from Maple Street. Looks like in total it's about a 3 CS lead after this wave is cleared. So, going to be doing a good job at farming. He's actually been farming, like, above and beyond what we normally see. Like, he's always consistent with his numbers. He usually never misses the CS, unless we see him miss right here. Oh, never mind. try to commentate his curse it just in case. But yes, he's farming really good against his opponents. We're going to see a little bit of an invade here onto Guess 8. Easy Neurotoxin turns around, though. We see Chris slice through the wall. That was going to be really aggressive and dices right on back out, if anything.
Yeah, Chris is just like, hey, okay, moral support, but then backs out. And the mid lane Renekton. Now, this is something that actually Shifter popularized. Well, he didn't popularize it. He was like the only one that did it, but it's still a cool idea.
I think it was Grim Samurai, too.
Oh, that's right, because you played Renekton top, and then he'd rotate it mid sometimes should the occasion occur, which is what occasions tend to do from from time to time. But this time around, seeing it versus a Gragas, keep in mind, this is also a top lane matchup. You can see it coming down bottom.
Nice
immediate headbutt over the wall. Maple Street makes it out.
So that's the power that Alistar has, makes every engage awkward because you just get knocked back a billion feet and cannot come in. Even with a repel, that would have been pretty hard to get back into. So from Maple Street, going to go back to sustaining back up and farming the waves. And Elise is like, damn, I couldn't do anything. We do see California Trolls getting initiated on there. Chain does go through. Pekin Wolf kind of winning out this matchup. Is Burst and Harass just being hyper effective here. And where is the next gank going to be? There was a ping on a Guess 8, so they might know he's over there.
You know, that top lane matchup is just about sustain versus damage. Nidalee definitely having that sustain advantage and actually is working out relatively well, but Pekin Wolf definitely has the damage, and more importantly, he's consistently landing these chains one after another. If he was missing those, I don't think that California Trolls would be so worried. Spell shield out there.
Another nice headbutt to completely disengage that and not let the Eclipse and the Shield of Daybreak come through. So really well played by Dodo, playing this counter perfectly.
Okay, well, Maple Street's having some rough times, but mostly just these NASCAR gangs coming in, get snuggled, coming down in bottom lane, returning every once in a while, and top lane, California Trolls is already back at full health. This is really impressive, but Chris going to get a little bit chunked out there. Guess is taking more damage, losing that trade, but it's just because he's got back up.
Ooh, nice spear to come in from California Trolls. Looks like they see the red buff coming through, and we'll be backing right off out of that one, unless Guess 8 goes around. Nah, he's not going to try to steal it. Snuggle gets that one for free. We're going to look to see the blue buff come up relatively soon for him, for Guess 8 side, and it'll be just regular rotations. With California Trolls back, he looks like he picked up a No Magic Mantle. That's about it. So looking for the Athene's Rush, while double Dorans for Pekin Wolves looking for that lane winning.
Ooh, and a nice avoidance there of the chain that time from California Trolls. Kind of rolling on the ground after that one. It's kind of nice to see. But it does mean that he's not only avoided the burst damage from the Sigil of Silence, he avoided the silence and the chain damage too. So really by dodging those chains, you get so much. And it's kind of a big swing there in the lane because LeBlanc's going to run out of mana sooner or later. Keep in mind, LeBlanc is not meant to be a top lane champion. You can try that, but I highly don't recommend this. This is professionals playing on a closed course. Don't try this at home.
And don't ever run into an Alistar in a back alley. He'll just headbutt and pulverize you away. But
it's a lesson that gets snuggled knows now. So he keeps trying to gank that bottom lane. Dodo's just like, no. Dodo says no. Now, Spear misses there, and California Trolls leaps out, avoids the second proc of the chain damage, but I don't know where he's getting all this mana sustain from. That one solid. Oh, he's actually going to go in on Pekin Wolf. I'm not sure he has that flashing
takedown. If he hits the wrong one, he chases the one with the rest of the Ignite, misses the swipe, but gets the Spear before he can distort back into that spot. looking to see if he can get away now. Gets the speed from the brush, leaps back towards
the
it, trying to
mind
juke.
game.
He gets the takedown and the swipe, but the bite comes in. He's going to be slowed from the red buff. Repella's there. Guess 8 is there to disengage as well as Slushi. Gets the Sonic Strike, looking for the flash forward. Oh, he
Okay.
thought he could get in front of him, but flash coming out at the same time from Snuggle keeps him safe. Ward jumps, Sonic Wave connects,
lands
goes
it.
through the cocoon, and picks up the kill with the auto without even having to use the Haku for a kill secure. So a nice job to Guess 8. Now has 2 kills. And we're going to see an initiation down bot. Gonti, level 6, could look for the Solar Flare. Cullen coming out, but a nice block from Dodo. Seeing the shield to stop the slow. Knocking up Dodo now. We're going to see the Hunt turn around this fight. Tails is getting dangerously low now. Boomerang Blade comes through. Ignite goes down. It's going to be the Zenith Blade to re-engage. Headbutt goes into the Tails. Ignite gets dropped. Gonna see Gonti flash forward, looking to
No
set up
mana.
Dodo. Will he go down? This is the most even bot lane fight ever. And now that'll be uneven as Dodo 8 falls. Really extended engage, and Leona's passive damage really putting that fight over the edge.
Man, that was very, very close, but extremely well played. Tails, and especially Gonti, even though he blew the Solar Flare and got it spell shielded, he was able to re-engage again off of maybe a little mispositioning there from Maple Street. Really nice to see that work out. Now, Guess is up top. he's in there. He's stealthed incognito. Instead of Guess 8, it's Guess 007. He's stealthing there in the brush, and now will California Trolls pop the bait? He's dancing way outside the brush, but something Lee Sin can do. Where's Dragon's Rage kick? Oh, sliced away.
More jump, more jump, more jump. No, he
Follow
doesn't
up.
have it. Oh, he drops the pick ward.
He
There we
does
go.
get it.
Gets it in front of the turret. Gets stunned up, though, and is ignited and gonna die as I guess that was a little faulty. He got stunned up there, ignited, and the turret did most of that work. And
double buffs over, too. He fed those to Chris. So, I don't know how great that trade was. It was sneaky, but looks like he's going to be 00 demoted now. So, Team 8 is now Team 7 as they do lose another member of their squad. Now with Jungler just now respawning.
4-man roam under from Maple Street. Zenith Blade doesn't connect. Cocoon does. He's going to get laid into, and Tails will secure that kill.
Team 5, we're dropping like flies here. I think Team 8's like the number of lives that they have. So they're like cats, but not quite as good.
That was very, very interesting play. But good roams from vVv, though, to secure those Dragon and the kill on from Maple Street. And they secure themselves a nice little lead with 1,000+ gold at this point. 1,300 looking like now. So double buffs on Chris makes a nightmare of a time for California Trolls up top.
Man, yeah, it's top and bottom both of the time. It's starting to swing back. Early game advantage is just off of plays being made. Team 8 had that, but vVv makes them plays top and bottom. And, you know, this is sort of a challenge for California Trolls. This guy is he's a player that kind of wins the game for his team. Able to sort of make plays top, roam mid, roam back to top, and just sort of win more than just the sum of his lanes. And it's nice to see maybe a little bit of a rough time for him. 1-1-1. Still going up against
Two Chain.
Renekton. Yeah,
Explosive Cask. We're going to see them go into Pika Wolf now. Sonic Wave does not connect. Passive gets popped, and Barrel and Turret do most of the work. Slushi with a beautiful play, noticing that he couldn't double distort. So gets a nice Explosive Cask towards the turret. Looks like the tier 1 up top, though. Gonna go down as California Trolls can't really contest a double buff Renekton and an Elise. So they're trying to trade it out with the mid-tier 1, which Slushi is pushing, but can't really seem to get.
Yeah, and with Lee Sin coming in there too, they know they have to trade these turrets out. And this is one of the best things that, or one of the things that Team 8 does almost better than any other team. They see you taking an objective, and they're like, okay, what can we do here? We need to be in position to take something out. And so they trade their top first-tier turret for a mid-tier turret, which is a better trade for them. Mid-turret is obviously it's a little bit more impactful because it guards 2 entrances, whereas top turret, it's really far away from your nexus, and there's only 1 entrance to the jungle by it.
All right. Looks like Chris is going to disengage. They're going to steal away a white. Blue buff isn't going to be coming up anytime soon. Hopefully he tried to steal it, though, but could not find it from the side of California. Wards are dropped out there, too, so they will know when that blue does come up and could look to fight that for a big objective. Maybe now they're going to rotate to look for a mid-push. Dragon, they did get, so not really that objective that they worry about. So looking for tier 1s and possibly maybe another 4-man roam bot or maybe a 2 to 3-man mid. We like to see, like, Leonas and Threshes and Annies just roam because they have that huge initiation potential.
Yeah, big initiators, even supports. Yeah, doing those big roves, very supportive, very successful. That's the word I was looking for. so far, but we haven't really seen that just yet. I want to see Alistar roams. That is something we used to see way back in the day. No, Dignitas used to run the roaming Taric strat. There was a roaming Alistar strategy for a while, and even jungle Alistar just because of those ganks. And he's in support. Whether I actually think Maple Street needs a little bit more help now. He's been ganked several times in a row, only dying once, but still, he's had his farm kind of dented there. You can see that Tails is not only starting to get ahead there, but also in turrets. Might be taking down the second one of the game for vVv.
As they're laying into this turret, doesn't look like anybody's there besides Guess 8. He'll get spotted out, though. And with a few more, that turret does go down, so that'll be 2-1 in turrets in favor of vVv. Just the mid one remaining. While top and bottom are the ones for Team 8 to go snag up. Blue Wave gets tossed over to Slushy 8, so he'll look to keep the waves clear, while Tails and Gaunty are looking for that sneaky play to try to catch off from Maple Street. But they're going to clear it over with a pink here. They're going to send from Maple Street by himself into the wave.
Oh, no, go back to Maple Street. It's going to be rough to watch when he goes up there. This is not going to be
Snuggle
fun.
gets caught out, though. Knocked up. Going to look for the Ignite to get dropped out there. He goes backwards. Barrel does not connect. A good flash keeps him alive. Sonic Wave does not connect out there. Can they catch him, though? Tempest from a flash body slam for the kill. It looks like from Maple Street actually got out bot after being surprised.
He did. As soon as he got jumped on, there was a flash out there. I was trying to keep an eye on the summoner icons just to figure out what happened there. But, now it's Gaunty returning down in here. Could look for the headbutt. Or Dodo returning down in there onto Gaunty. He's going to say, no, can't take my pink ward. You can take my 80 carry, my pink wards. They belong to me.
All right, pink ward going to get cleared out there. So, a minute and 20 on Dragon. Could look to see them load up that. While California Troll's a little overextended, going to flash and leap away. He'll be able to get out. That's fine. Heal himself back up, go back to top lane. And
but at the same time,
I don't know why he was
doing there. Yeah, he's coming down to mid lane to try to farm it up in the absence of anybody else to really do that. He's trying to farm 2 lanes at the same time, just using that Nidalee mobility, if you will. It's nice to see him trying to win out as many lanes as he can, but it's only 1-1-1 and had to blow flash there too.
Speaking of taken down, I don't know where I was going with that one. They took down the turret in the bot lane, 2 for 2, and it looks like Tails might be able to catch up to them. The Lonk is coming from the side. The culling is coming out, though. They do have a lease as well. Dodo 8, are you going to sacrifice yourself?
Maple.
No. Maple will get soloed down there by Tails. A good flash to the wall there will keep Dodo 8 alive. So they only trade 1, though, but from Maple Street, kind of not who they want to trade off. I guess they would want, trade Dodo instead because he's the support. But Tails chased that one down nice, forces flash out. Ignite goes down, though. Dominus is popped. Chris is chasing down with the Slushy. A bunch of damage comes through. Explosive cast to keep him away. Chain not going to connect. Pekin Wolf gets the second chain, though. And Ignite and Pop will take him down.
Pekin Wolf does get out of there. Pops his passive, but looks like a good trade to me. So even in things back up, vVv, this is just a slugfest. And it's not just individual fights winning out. It's some really big strategic moves being made by both teams. Like, you're going to take this turret, we're going to rotate for this one. Dragons, objectives, team fights, looking good for both sides. But now with a 3-2 turret advantage, mid lane turret will finally fall. And that bottom lane that's really just been under so much pressure this game. Maple Street and Dodo, it's easy to see that vVv know which lane to focus.
Yeah, and they get the second Dragon of the game as well, so vVv snagged that one away. Guess 8 comes over, gets Cocoon. Going to see the pink ward take that out instead, and I guess vVv they're studying because they know that from Maple Street has a really good time. Elise has been down there at least 4 times, but can they catch him out?
Does land. Get snuggled. It's going to get snuggled in that direction. Throws the Cocoon out, lands it, but there is Maple Street. He's getting some revenge for that camping. The chain comes in. Where's the second one? It's Distortion instead. Just looking for range. Get those red buffed auto attacks to try to slow out Maple Street.
Those
There's a nice
heals,
stun.
though. Oh my god, the Distortion and Single Pop just blow up from Maple Street. Dodo's in the back line trying to help heal. We do have now Gragas coming. Explosive Cast is not enough to pick up the kill. He'll be able to distort away. And just barely Gragas not able to pick that up, but nice play by vVv. They trade out 3 for 1 because they did end up losing, get snuggled there.
Yeah, and that actually looked like a much more favorable opportunity for California Trolls to pick up some kills. He chunked down Elise, but Get Snuggled just turned around, landed the perfect Cocoon. Disengaged, got out alive, and got the rest of his team a bunch of kills. And I was questioning the second Distortion, the Mimic there from Pekin Wolf just to get in range, but he used those red buff slow procs so effectively to really slow down Team 8 and allow the rest of his team to catch up. So vVv, they fire back, they're ahead in kills and turrets, and Team 8, they're down for what seems like the first time I can remember. looking good against some of the best in the league, but now vVv looking good against them, which in turn means that vVv beat Team 8. It's like they're better than the teams that Team 8 have beat.
That's not how it works.
It's a transitive property.
You
I
can
learned it
try
in
to
school.
think like that.
Just trying to be optimistic. And of course, vVv, they're trying to be optimistic too, because as a member of the team, comes with a default ability to believe vVv at all times.
Exactly. So, don't stop believing, but teammate, I'm pretty sure won't stop trying either, even if they're down. So, gonna rely on giving red buff over to from Maple Street, and I'm surprised we haven't really seen too many like full-on team fights yet. California Trolls has kind of been splitting up top, but still losing out in farm pretty heavily, as it's a 77 lead for Chris in that CS.
All right, so the big thing to watch out for right now is going to be that the mid lane and, more importantly, bottom lane discrepancies. Bottom lane is not, that's where you see the biggest difference. Or a total of 5 and 0 versus just a 1 and 4. Now, okay?
Nice
it's
kick.
We're going to come in here and fight. Oh, just kidding. California Trolls will go ahead and have 1 chain, 2 chains landed, and the distortion over the wall to lock him down again. California Trolls can fight 1, maybe can't quite fight the second one. DFG's on there, but where's the rest of the magic damage? California Trolls just too hot to handle.
Solar Flare, no, all right, nothing on the side. Dodo 8 comes in, heals up. They'll disengage now, drop wards over the side, and that's mobility for you, and she'll be able to get out.
There you go. I'm liking that one. I used to call him middly, but he's actually playing in the top lane now. So
Top lane?
got to come up with something else. And using that mobility to get around, I feel like my tongue is going to break every time I say that word. But did escape. It's like Singe. Just don't chase the mid.
And not really having to worry about a poison trail, though, chasing here, so just annoying. We'll see the top tier 2 taking a bit of pressure here. Bunch of damage comes through. A spear just absolutely destroys Snuggled. And now, California Trolls, is he going to get dove here? No, we do see Alistar and Chris backs out. Very smart to stay away and keep California Trolls alive for a little bit longer, as he'll just trap up, board up, and go back to try and defend and farm up this top lane. But Chris isn't going to relieve any pressure. He's going to keep stealing away that white, keep pressuring the minion wave, and keeping that lane pushed up to the tier 2. While he does find California Trolls, slices in, gets the call to making a bunch of damage, but with, oh, he actually has Ignite and Flash, so not going to go for anything crazy just yet. Waiting for the right opportunity.
And this is the full AP Nidalee build like you'd see from a mid lane Nidalee, but in the top lane and versus a Renekton. I don't know how this works, but get Snuggled's making it happen. And with that completed, Athene's Unholy Grail. It's odd to say that that's an effective item against Renekton, but it's actually really doing work at not only keeping him safe against the LeBlanc that he started against, but having the sustain to be able to stay in that lane, keep healing himself up versus Chrissy.
All right, and with that 4,000 gold that they have, they've been trying to push down lane. All the tier 1s are gone. They need tier 2s. Dragons all in their favor. Looking for possibly a third one in a minute and 20 seconds. Gaunty, though, and Snuggled kind of sneaking in towards this red side, maybe looking for wards and some pressure onto the red if they could look to contest that one if they want. Oh, a nice counter sweeper from Dodo. Clears out that fresh ward, and maybe going to try to ward up this dragon. Minute left on that one, though, so got a bit of time.
All right, so things kind of taking maybe a little bit of a breather here. And I, for one, am totally okay with that. Breathing's a good thing, and it's nice to get a chance to do that as the lanes start to be maybe a little bit more passive. Blue buff is on Peckinwolf, and he's going to actually head back to base. He picked up an early Negatron cloak, and while Banshee's Veil is a great item to buy on LeBlanc, it's one that actually Hotshot GG popularized, along with a Rylai's Crystal Scepter. I don't think he does that build anymore, but the Banshees are definitely good. Dodo, though, will be beset from all sides. Maple Street's trying to micro things out there with that on the hunt pop, but he doesn't want to engage too far. The Tails is coming down that river.
That was both their ultimates, though, so that's pretty big for the next fight, which is most likely going to go down with this dragon. While Guess 8 is dueling Chris. Going to see him flash and kick him into the turret, but no more turret aggro. One more shot comes through. California Trolls with the spear. Will pick up the kill as he rotated around behind him. Dragon coming up now in 10 seconds. Could be pretty big for them with 30 seconds left on Chris's respawn timer. We do have them clearing out wards and getting ready for this objective.
That... I'm still speechless about that. Guess they not only did the Scuba Chris where you flash and then kick them in an opposite, where you kick and then flash in an opposite direction, but he also kicked him right in to the spear coming out from California Trolls. Now, while it does look like Team 8 will secure this dragon, what can they get off the back of that? It's looking like a disengage, forces out one distortion. Can they get two? California still on the hunt. He's got a spear to give hits on to Peckinwolf, but can they they chase this out? You can't jump through that wall.
Oh, well, Lee Sin can. Oh, it does not hit the
Okay.
Sonic Wave. Oh, almost spear connects. Sonic, oh, wow, headbutt
Right to
interrupted the
Dodo.
distortion. And from Maple Street with the Boomerang Blade picking up that kill. Meanwhile, Slushie gets chunked away, but he'll get healed up by Nidalee just fine. That sets up for a really good siege composition from Team 8's side, so with blue buff on either Gragas or Nidalee, if they can find those, they will have a pretty decent time pushing down these turrets. Heal comes through. He's a little bit tanky, though. Zenith Blade comes in, goes in onto Dodo. A bunch of damage comes out. Solar Flare on top of that one, and Gaunty will secure the kill. While they kick Chris onto from Maple Street, unfortunately.
I don't think he's
Guess
too
8
happy
goes
about
down
that.
as well from the likes of Elise, while California Trolls now running away on the blue side. He'll be able to get away, while it looks like Slushie has to pull some tricky maneuvers
yeah.
to get out.
He did manage to body slam over the wall, so kind of juking out the rest of vVv, but that whole kicking Chris right onto the back line
Yeah,
thing,
that
probably
was-
going to have to cut that out. I don't think people's too happy about that one. Having a Renekton that your team's supposed to peel against for you, kick him onto you probably isn't the greatest thing to have happen as an AD carry. It's a relatively even fight after all of that, 2 for 3, but at the same time, it's much more successful objectives afterwards. It's not the team fights or how hard you win it, it's what you take afterwards. And there you go, vVv securing themselves the 4th turret of the game. And
hello.
Slushie, not sure.
I feel like he thought Slushie went back. He was just going through the wall, but there was a ward over there, so they probably knew that Slushie was going that way. So nice job by Chris to snipe that one out. A little greedy for that farm with Slushie, though.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he didn't expect that, and that's the second time in a row Chris has used that, used the white to slice and then dice over the wall again. A little bit of surprise tactics. Tails going into hyper farm mode. He's laning, he's jungling. He's basically all over the map, just picking up that CS. And at 4 kills, he's got tons of gold coming his way. Looking for even more offense after this. Now get snuggled. Gonna get bodyguard Gaunty to escort him out there. I don't know if you guys have ever seen a picture of Gaunty, but man, that guy's jacked. I don't know if I'd want to fight him as a support or IRL, so not really going to be looking to 1v1 him.
But I thought you were a Jiu-Jitsu master.
I have battled my fair share of Ninja Warlords before, Dan, but you know there's that tier after that, and that's what we call professional support players.
That's what you call Gaunty. All right, and that's where he derived his name. Gaunty actually means professional killer.
Can't tell if troll.
I don't know. You'll have to look it up.
All right, I guess I will. Okay, the more you know. All right, well, the more vVv know is going to be because of their first V, and that is vision. And that's what really starts to matter more and more towards the later phases of this game. And as we crest on towards the late game, about to round that 30-minute mark here in a few minutes, it's going to be less and less about maybe taking dragons and farming up waves and more about having those completed items and really seeing the fruition of the first 20 or so minutes of the game. And to be honest, the bottom lane just keeps looking better. Gaunty doing a great job at that bodyguarding, and Tails deathless the entire game. But what was so successful for Team 8 in all of their other games, their bottom lane and California Trolls, has taken a little bit of a turn for the worst. Not something Laudanum can cure if you guys have ever tried to do that. Turning things back to the better means Team 8 needs to get their bottom lane going. And while I guess Maple does have a ton of damage, they're not looking for any armor penetration, which is not really going to cut it against maybe the incoming tank items from Snuggled and Chris.
He's got his last whisper.
Did not see that, apparently.
I was like, wait a minute, armor
I'm not sure what I
penetration.
thought that was. I thought it was like...
Brutalizer?
yeah, the Brutalizer, not quite. Did used to see that built on Lucian for a while, but I don't think anybody's going to be pulling out Don't Mash Me as Lucian builds anymore. So apologies for missing that. It's a ton of damage, and instead of going for, ooh, maybe I pick on the Snuggled here.
Red buff slows. He's going to be taking a bunch of damage here. Solar Flare, he jukes away from a bunch of that. Dodo 8 looking to go in with the Headbutt Pulverize up. Gets knocked back. He'll be fine. He Headbutt Pulverizes Gaunty over the wall. Sonic Wave does end up connecting out. I don't know to what, but you left from Maple Street alone with Tails. Team, please respond. It looks like Chris now going to get initiated on here. Ignite goes down. Bunch of damage coming in. Pounces forward. Takedowns and swipes. And that will be California Trolls picking up that one. But they did lose from Maple Street, unfortunately. So that was a 1 for 2 in favor of Team 8. I'm thinking of all the challenger teams here going through my head. And Tails gets a little bit of a free push bot, but he'll back up after seeing Slushie and Dodo.
And to be honest, I'm not sure. That's the second time in a row Maple Street has just gotten like abandoned by his own team. First time they kick Renekton onto him. This time they just leave him and Tails just levels him. into the ground. It was not fun to watch. Probably wasn't fun for Maple Street, but it's a nice pick nonetheless, taking out not only getting the catch there, but Chris, the tankiest member on the team for vVv, died there nonetheless. So teammate vVv, this is a big slugfest, and to be honest, vVv, they're sort of a team that, I guess, having combined their rosters at the beginning of the season, I didn't know what to expect from them. They've got Tails back on the team there, and he's kind of a big superstar for the teams back when they were two separate teams. Meshing together, had a hard time finding a support, but Gonti has really made that work. And now with 5 kills on Tails, you can really tell which bottom lane has been winning this out. But in order to win these next few team fights, teammate really just need to keep Maple Street alive. Not something they've been able to do so far.
And we do see a little bit of damage going to the Picking Wolf there. About a fourth of his HP from one barrel. So coming in with a ton of damage. He's got a Megatron Cloak too, so not true damage. Explosive Cast goes in, interrupts actually Tails' dash, but they cannot find anything else out of that. They will get the Dragon though, as that'll be their second Dragon of the game. They even up 2-2. So keeping strong on those objectives. Not as controlling of those this game as they normally usually have all 4. And it'll be 4-0 in Dragons. They have a huge gold lead, but
right.
vVv still looking strong, keeping some control of it at least.
Well, key to notice is that Dragons are a great way to figure out which team currently has the momentum in their favor. If they have enough to both win a team fight and Dragon, chances are they're pretty strong. But it's been back and forth. One team get a Dragon, and then the other one follow up.
It's like it's your turn, right? Yeah. Well, I got it.
It's my turn for Dragon. All right, so Team 8 picking up their second one means that it's actually really even back and forth between both teams. You can see less than 1,000 gold separate both of these guys. All right, I'm right in that. I had to do a little bit of math there, but it's actually more than 1,000 gold, 1.5k for right now. I should have learned from yesterday to leave all the math up to Dan. Anytime we have gold to be counted up, I'm just going to throw it your way.
All right, so I'll try to do as fast the math as I can, become rapid mathing.
I'm almost there, just not quite. I'm pretty slow at that. But game actually pretty slow for now, as both teams once again will take a little bit of a breather. But I feel like this is like standing on top of the staircase. It's potential energy, just kind of building up, looking to fall down. And
that kinetic energy?
It's true.
Is that what it's called? Yeah.
Well, that's what happens when you turn potential energy into it. But Spear's starting to land. Gonti's looking to go in with a nice flank again. It's Maple Street. Nowhere near the rest of his team, and whether that's on the team for not protecting him or on Maple for getting caught out there. Slushie's forced to flash away from Chris, who ults over the wall. Now the ult not all that effective in combat, but it was great to blow that flash from Slushie.
Could they go for Baron? He eats a trap. Oh, jeez.
Trap's really going to
That was a nice place trap, too. That was that nook where people try to hang out and just bait you through to them.
That's really cool. You got to know all those little tiny niddly tricks, something that Hotshot probably figured out over years and years of that, but Guess just took down a turret. He's pushing mid, and why you picked your jungler to push mid when the rest of your team is trying to stop?
Gragas barrels, that's why. She couldn't pop the signal, though. He can look for the steal the barrel. Explosive cast. Oh, a little too late.
Oh, but he does chunk Gonti. And
ton of damage.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage. Look at where Lee Sin is. He's killing the inhibitor. He's
Nearly
on
poke
that
here.
Slushie just has to stop them from backing. We're going to see barrels into the brushes. Trying to get in there. Peckinwolf's going to stop, but he's just protecting Tails.
Spear comes out, does not hit Tails, and that inhibitor will go down.
Oh my
So they
gosh.
trade inhibitor for Baron. vVv have that buff still, though, but that's a big timer on that inhibitor to come back up. While California Troll's playing with his life here.
California Trolls is 1v4ing right now. He's not trying to kill him, just trying to stay alive and poke them off, keep them from going back to base. A spear finally does land. It's on the hunt.
The hunt is on. The spear connects and does a ton of damage to Tails, takes him down. Looking for Gonti. Chris is going to be their next target as three of them are focusing down. Ignite comes through. Spear connects. Guess Ace takes down Gonti. Chain connects from Peking Wolf, though. Looking for something to pop that Banshee's Veil is the big thing for Team 8. So capitalizing perfectly on their inhibitor taking and the kiting California Trolls. Did he exert
They're gonna
so
walk down
much pressure?
mid. This could be game after Dodo 8 just went in there like the manliest Alistar I've ever seen with the cowliest Alistar. This is looking like SKTT 8 right now as Guess 8 and the rest of the team.
This could be really bad. If they don't end the game here, they're just pushing in blindly. They could have secured, a top inhibitor turret or inhibitor, but they're going to get a bunch of attacks in here waiting for the super minions so they can do full damage. Explosive cast does a ton of damage to Peking Wolf.
Down.
Forces him to back off. Cocoon comes in.
5 seconds on
Slushie
Tails.
There is the Nexus, and it's gonna go down. They're flashing, and they're just gonna be able to win the game.
Team 8, at long last, they take the inhibitor, bait out the Baron. California Trolls almost single-handedly just, I don't even know what he was doing there. He's 1v4ing. It worked out. He stopped them from backing, and then the rest of his team were on the hunt. Aptly named. They came in there, and as soon as I saw Dodo 8 just land that perfect headbutt pulverize, we've seen him do it with like giant Annie Tibber stuns. Team 8 just leave nothing but impressiveness in my mind. That's one of the best turnarounds. The comebacks, the plays all day long.
That game was actually fairly even still. That was pretty ridiculous.
It was just about decision making. Early game, it's about, hey, can you win your lane? Can you get this early advantage? But what does it mean later on? It's all about decision making. And
Yeah.
Team 8, man, they just have that coordination, the communication, more like to say, this is what we're going for. Sending the jungler away from Baron to take that inhibitor, like that requires a lot of thinking. To me, it says, hey, we're not going to smite the Baron. That gives it to them for free, but you still have Gragas pressure.
We'll hold them here. You go push. Don't worry.
That was just an incredible thought process and great strategizing. Team 8 will take the victory over vVv. It's very hard fought, but maybe very, very, very hard fought. It was nice to see both of these teams put up a great fight, great show, and an even better game. So if you guys are not vVvers yet, hopefully this game will still give you some hope, as we still have one more week left, a couple more weeks left to play in NACL. So anything can happen with that win. Team 8 actually rise to 10-3, now a better score than
LMQ.
Yeah, than LMQ. So that's going to be rough to see. Just the top 3, top 4 teams just really sort of rotating first place position. It's going to be a good season, and it's going to be an even better last game. And if you guys have been waiting for good games all night, hopefully that one sated your thirst, because we got one more coming your way. It's Cloud9 HyperX Tempest. They will be taking on Curse Academy for the second time today. We'll be breaking down all those stats and taking you into the last game of the night as NACL Esports Season 2 continues right after this.
All should have held you closer, and I know I should have treated you better in a perfect world, but we're not always what we promised to be. You caught my words in air, the silence hung as you caught my eye. Conversations locked away in my mind.
Ariel, listen to me. The human world, it's a mess. Life under the sea is